Got it.
So, good afternoon, dear guests. Welcome to our 8th webinar on vertical farming as part of the Echoing Plus project. Through this project, we aim to empower young individuals to embark on a journey that revolves around essential and interconnected topics on vertical farming and entrepreneurship, including topics on sustainability, climate change, ensuring food security, and adopting smart farming practices. Echoing Plus is a 2-year project that involves organizations from 6 countries: France, Austria, Greece, Turkey, the Netherlands, and Portugal. You can learn more about the project through our website, and I will paste a link of our website in the comments in a bit. Well, today we have the privilege of welcoming a distinguished leader in agricultural research, Dr. Kashif Riaz. With over 15 years of extensive expertise in various fields of agriculture and innovation, Dr. Riaz is at the forefront of pioneering advancements in the field. His journey spans across the globe, where he's acquired a wealth of knowledge from some of the world's top universities and agricultural research centers in France, Switzerland, Pakistan, Canada, and the United States. His academic journey includes a master in plant cell and molecular biology from the University of Strasbourg and a PhD in biology from the University of Paris. Beyond his academic achievement, Dr. Riaz's impressive portfolio covers a wide spectrum of expertise from agri-process transformation to plant health ecoservices. He has actively contributed to academia, industry, and public partnership programs, and has been an influential figure in shaping policy and vision documents for governments. So, without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Kashif Riaz to share his insights and knowledge. Dr. Riaz, the floor is yours.
Yes, okay. Thank you for such a sparkling introduction. Maybe I will live up to those expectations that you have just explained about me. So today, the objective of my presentation or talk to you guys is just to stimulate some brainstorming or just to develop some innovative ideas so that we can contribute towards this controlled environment agriculture industry. So with this, I will move forward. So I will talk about vertical farming, controlled environment agriculture, and I will explain what is my approach, how I am adapting myself and my knowledge and my experience learned in academia, in the industry, for developing controlled environment agriculture solutions, particularly for high density vertical farming for plants like crops, flowering plants. So as you know that currently I'm working for Ferme d'hiver, which is in English is winter farm. I will present what we are developing here, and then I will explain a little bit about challenges and opportunities that we are facing or the industry is facing overall. So in introduction, as she has already explained about me, that I have a background in agronomy, agriculture. I'm a registered agrobiologist in Quebec and in Ontario. And I'm working for the last 5 to 7 years specifically for vertical farming industry, for developing crop production models, recipes for lighting and climate, and training the farmers and farm advisors. So as a whole, I have dedicated myself particularly to vertical farming and to Quebec as well, because as you can know that in Canada, we have this cheapest source of electricity, energy, that promotes the vertical farming here in Quebec. So I personally believe that this is this should be the innovation center for vertical farming. It should have been something 10 to 15 years back, but the conditions are ideal nowadays, maybe due to some world economic conditions or due to shortage of foods and energy, the crisis that we are having for the last couple of years. So here I can present you the big guys of our company, that are, helping me and our other research partners to find funds and develop farms and farming concepts, and to really materialize our approaches. We have Eve Daoud, who has a lot of experience in tech industry, and Mr. Alan Brisbois, who has been like from the food retail industry. So both of them have been the leading figures in Quebec and in the rest of the Canada and around the world. So recently, for the last 5-7 years, they have dedicated themselves also towards bringing this change in the farming so that we can serve the farmers, Quebec first and then elsewhere in the world. So our approach has been like to work with farmers and at the same time work with the universities and innovation centers. And recently we have been, working with several Canadian universities, and we have got several fundings from the government and the provincial bodies to develop further. So one of our big partners is University of Montreal. The other one is like University of Laval and the ETS, like engineering school. So currently today, my focus will be around our recent publication that also got a best practice track paper award from a recent conference this year. So our collaborators from the university and from our production teams, which was formerly a grower family business, Les Serres Vaudreuil, that they partnered with us for implementing and finding some solutions. So whatever we have achieved over the last 3 or 4 years together with university, academia, research centers, and the growers, we use this information to present the challenges and the opportunities that we think are available and the lessons that we learned during these experimentation and the technological development. So if you have an interest, you can go and look at these papers that was recently published. So now, like after introducing our company and myself and a little bit background, I would just really like to have some discussion or look deeper into the agriculture itself. The topic today is like controlled environment agriculture, but we will see and we know that agriculture has a long history. Like you can see that there are still grains and people who are eating grains from hundreds of thousands of years, and then we see that then as the human population, they grow, as the human species, they grow, the very first need was to feed themselves. So consequently, the agriculture also grew over years. So agriculture has a deep culture of how to grow plants, how to feed human population, and how to adapt the production technologies to the environment. So if you see about the origins of the agriculture in different parts of the world, it gradually evolved, but there are several theories. But if you look some of the theories, you will see that the most promoting factor had been the climate change. So as the earth started to become warmer and warmer, and ice started melting in different areas of the world, so these areas of the world started become centers for agriculture development. In easiest words, it's like this. And we can see that it's been like thousands of years that the first form of edible plants, which were from grass families, originated during something like 9,500 BC. Different forms of wheat plants, barley, peas, lentils, chickpeas, and flax, especially in the Levant areas. So we can see that, the agriculture in itself has a very deep history and a deep knowledge among the populations living in different continents. So nowadays we talk much about controlled environment agriculture, but some of the students are in the general public, there is a understanding that this is something new. But in fact, it is not something new. Human beings started to develop controlled environment agricultural technologies something like thousands of years back. So one of the example is like here I have given like hanging gardens of Babylon. You can see in this like picture that people knew how to grow plants on their rooftops and how to irrigate them using different engineering technologies. And nowadays we can see that there are different kind of controlled environment and agriculture facilities in the world. In poultry and dairy industries, they advanced like at a high speed, and we have high tech farms. But unfortunately, for plant production or for farming or for crop production, there had not been much advancements. The greenhouse production grew well in some parts of the world, especially in Europe, but the other farms that we see today, then we classify them as like urban farming, indoor agriculture, vertical farming, hydroponics, aeroponics, fogoponics, high density farming. So these are the trends that nowadays we are looking, and we see that there is in terms of business, we can see that like by 2025 the industry is expected to reach 9.9 or $10 billion. So there is a need right now to develop some solutions that can serve us. But at the same time, we can see that agriculture, different forms of agriculture, especially in terms of plant production, have developed, have evolved along with the human race. But still, we are hungry. So I think that how comes like we have been trying for thousands of years to feed ourselves, but still we are hungry. So you can see that the sustainable development goals of United Nations still is like we have to reduce the hunger. Like by 2030, we want to have zero hunger. I don't know we will achieve it or not, but still it is a goal. You know, in 20 we are living in 2030. We have evolved almost. You know, we have the ships who can explore the seas. We have satellites, and you know we can go on the moon and in the universe and wherever. But still, we are hungry. We don't know how to produce the food, and still it is a crisis. And the human population, they remain malnourished. You know, less nutrition, and you can see that there are millions of people you know who are starving from hunger. So whether we are unable to produce the food or we are unable to manage it, this is like debatable. But still we can see clearly that the human population is hungry. There is not enough food. So as a student or as a scientist, I think like how comes we lag behind as an agrologist, as a plant scientist, how we can like afford to starve ourselves. We have to work together and hard and find some solutions. So you can see like even in the recent years, the hunger, like food insecurity is increasing. Like just from 2014 to 2020, you can see that there is an increase. That we are like food insecure places in the world are increasing and increasing despite all this technological advancement. So it means that we need to innovate, we need to redirect ourselves and go in some other directions. So here at Winterfarm, what we do, like the company just started several years back, like it started as a startup in 2018, and quickly with the help of our team, we were able to grow, and today we have like one of the biggest, in fact, it is the biggest strawberry producing indoor farm in North America, and I believe that in the world as well, because we are producing 1 million kilograms of strawberries a year. So it is a big target. So what is our approach, what we do, and what we were lacking? So we sat together in our technological development team, and we think, you know, what we are lacking, what is lacking in our approach. So we figured out that we don't know the plant, despite that there has been a lot of research, in agronomy, in plant sciences, but we know nothing about plants in real, not only in terms of their physiology, but also in terms of our capacity to modulate them so that we can achieve our production goals. So, but this concept, like thinking about that plants are intelligent, it seems strange, like to everyone. If I talk to someone and I tell them that I feel personally that the plants are intelligent, they listen to me, I can talk to them, they can see you, they can talk to you, they can talk to their friends and foes in the environment, but it seems strange, So even in the scientific and academic world, it's not too far. Like the people started accepting that plants are intelligent. It's been something like 15 or 20 years. People started believing. There had been initially a long debate that human beings are intelligent, but the plants are not intelligent. So recently, thanks to the scientific development, we are able to believe more and more that plants are intelligent because they have the core mechanism for their living. They learn from the environment, they adapt to the environment, and they respond to the environment. Why? Because they want to live. They want to live longer. And we can see that trees, they can live for thousands of years. Okay, so it means that they are intelligent, they have intelligent mechanisms to defend themselves and to adopt themselves, and they can survive. So the basic mechanism for intelligence or cognitive learning stays there, but the tools could be different. In human beings and animals, we have the brain, but in plants, they can have several brains. So if you have a look at from plant physiological perspective, you can target some of the processes inside the plant and you can learn from them, and you can find the targets that you can follow to learn more about the plants, how to adapt them in the controlled environment agriculture for dedicated, targeted production according to the market demand. So today we can see that there are subjects, people are doing research in plant neurobiology, plant cognition, plant computation, systems biology, short-term memory processing, decentralized processing of information, offline and online response management. So these are the scientific fields that the human scientists or animal scientists or biological scientists, they studied, and today we have a very well developed healthcare system and we know much about ourselves. But somehow we did not study those mechanisms in plant. But since like 2015 or 2010, we are studying more and more. And from this perspective, and we are studying the same processes like photosynthesis, stomatal conductance, and others processes of crop physiology from this angle by believing the plants are intelligent, and we try to find out the, like in genomic or genetic perspective, how the plant carry these intelligent mechanisms and behave and modulate their responses to the changing environment. So the crop or plant behavior is not the same. A plant as a single can behave differently from those plants which are grown together as a crop. So from agriculture perspective, we can see clearly that agronomically there is the processes and the response of the plants that differ. So it means that the plants, they have some mechanisms of talking to each other to have some localized or combined responses to the environmental stimuli. So this is our approach, like, So what we do at Winter Farms. So we try to learn from plant intelligence and serve the plant more properly to optimize the growth and to help them adopt by providing them the environment which is more suitable for their developmental stage. So agronomically, the plants are in greenhouse industry, or when you are in plant production in controlled environment, you would define always the plant in terms of vegetative and reproductive phase. So these intelligent mechanisms for vegetative and regenerative phase, you have to keep. So what we do at winter farms, that we develop decision support systems and farm management systems, beside all the other technological and infrastructure development that I would not go into details. But here in this approach, and within this there is a lot of space for innovation. We try to adapt ourselves by providing what plants needs and develop crop production models. So by using
I think it's technical issues of the.
Yes, I think so. It's not only with the audio, also the video. Yeah, but maybe now it's fine. Sorry, we don't hear you, Dr. Riaz.
do you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
So I can assume that whatever I have said now. So do you see my screen?
It is coming up, but not yet. So it just written. Okay, now yes.
Okay. So the idea is to learn from plant during 24 hours and to provide them what they want and to understand what they need from us. But how we do this, how to achieve this objective? So we can understand that we lack a plant-machine interface, or more precisely, plant-human interface. So currently, what we need, the very first thing is the sensors. As you can see in precision agriculture, the scientists have developed sensors that you can determine the plant physiological processes like evaporation, photosynthesis. You can develop crop growth models, and using machine learning and artificial intelligence, you can fine tune or optimize the parameters for developing those models, and then adopt them to your production needs. So what is more important is, like, from environmental perspectives, that you need to provide lighting. Lighting nowadays you provide through LED lights, and you need HVAC, heat ventilation, and air conditioning systems for managing the air temperature, air humidity, air flow, and air distribution. And you need irrigation systems. You need irrigation system to make recipes and to provide the irrigation just at the right time when the plants need them. And then from the greenhouse perspective, you need to clean your soil or substrate, whatever you do. So you need to drain your substrates, and you need the drainage sensors. And then to manage the diseases, you need to develop disease and insects models. So lighting, HVAC, irrigation, drainage, and phytosanitation are the main processes and the equipments that you need for those processes. And from these, you need to have this data coming from the sensors that are installed in these systems. And these data sets, using machine learning and artificial intelligence tools, will help you to find the right combinations of lighting, irrigation, humidity inside the rooms. And you will look for the important processes like evaporation, photosynthesis, thermoregulation, stomatal conductance, and you will characterize your stress on daily basis so that you can manage the canopy growth and the yield according to the timelines as requested by the growers. So recently, what we started with computer science department from University of Montreal, that we started some digital twins so that we can cut the time upon doing experimentation in the real lab. So we developed with them some digital twins to perform simulations and learn more so that we can develop some more optimized crop production models. So from our company perspectives, what we want that we need to produce more productive farms, install more ecological farms so that they are more profitable for the farmers. So here there is one example of our farm from Portugal, that you can see that we have a hybrid system in which we have a greenhouse, and inside the greenhouse we have this vertical farm, and inside the vertical farm we grow strawberries, and in the adjacent areas we can grow other crops like salads. So one of the important elements of the indoor farm or indoor building is the energy management. So our solution, in our hybrid solution, we can provide excess energy to the adjacent areas to heat them the year around. So now here at our farm we are able to grow the crops year around, because all the extra heat coming from the rooms we can use to heat the adjacent greenhouses. So it is like, just to explain. So here in pictures we just see that this is a greenhouse and this is the adjacent crop production room, and there is a inside that you can see that these are vertically stacked growing gutters, and you can have something like 14 to 16 levels of production, and it falls in the category of high density vertical farming. And here in the adjacent areas you can see that we are growing. So in terms of pictorial representation, you can see that energy can be transferred from the production room to the adjacent areas. So how comes that we have so much excessive heat? Because we have the LED lights, and we extract the heat produced by the lights and we bring it to the adjacent areas through energy exchangers. So just to introduce a little bit about our strawberry production model, that we have like a 3-stage strawberry production models. We buy or produce small plants, and we can buy them or we can produce locally, and then we bring them to a quarantine phase, and then we bring them to the production room. So depending upon the plant variety, this could be like from a few 12 weeks to 30 weeks cycle. So here I just represent a small pictures of what kind of plants we use and what kind of machines are used. And here in this picture you can see that there is a guy who is using computer to control the indoor farm. So automation is a big challenge. How do you automate your decision support systems? So that I will talk later on. So here we have another vertical high density cradles, in which you can have your nursery plants. And there is another picture, you can see some strawberries going on and these lights. So this is how we operate, but there is nothing like something problem free.